Hey guys, welcome back to Montavue. Today we're going to be going over the doorbell camera. We're going to be dividing this into two parts. We're really going to do the first half kind of covering the doorbell itself and the features for those of you that are interested in purchasing it. And the second half we are going to go over the installation portion, showing you guys exactly how to hook this thing up. It can be a little bit tricky. So for those of you that actually own the doorbell already, go ahead and just skip this first half. We'll see you guys at the installation portion. For those of you that are interested in the doorbell, a few key features here. It is 2K, that is a 4 megapixel resolution, 15 frames per second, so things are going to look fairly smooth on camera whenever they're moving around. It's going to capture even the fastest moving objects. It also has two-way audio. That's probably the most important feature of this. It's got a built-in mic and a built-in speaker, and it uses the Montavue Go 2.0 app, which is free to use, free to download, and that way you guys can have instant communication with whoever's on camera here. Also, when they ring the doorbell, it actually notifies the phone and then it works almost like a chime. You can answer it and talk to whoever's on camera. It also has human detectors, so if someone's not intent on ringing the doorbell, say a porch pirate for example, it will actually detect a human and then be able to send you a notification to your app on your phone telling you that a human's been spotted. From there you can click on the notification and actually see what's going on, and you can even communicate with the person by clicking on the call button. So whether they press this button or not, you guys have that ability to communicate with whoever's in front. It also has night vision, about 16 feet of IR night vision. So that is going to be your classic black and white. However, that splash is going to go, again, about 16 feet. Realistically though, you're probably going to be able to see about 20 to 25 feet in absolute darkness. Storage for the doorbell works through a micro SD card loaded into the back of the unit. You can go up to 256 gigabytes, which gets you about 2 to 3 days of recording time. You can also link this through your network into your guys' Montavue NVR as an official channel, and that way you can record the videos straight to that hard drive. That gives you weeks or even months of recording time. Now, we get asked about cloud storage a lot here, and there are two big reasons that we don't do it. One is that it's a subscription service, so that it costs you guys a monthly thing, and we don't want to have to be charging any of our customers a subscription fee. Second, and probably the most important, is that certain large competitors of ours have an agreement that your footage can be given to certain government entities without your knowledge, consent, or sometimes even without a warrant. So we don't really believe in those practices, and we believe that your footage should be yours and yours alone. So your footage is strictly recorded to that micro SD card as well as your NVR if you so choose it, and that is it. So the last thing I want to talk about is the little white light. It's the last feature on that doorbell, and that is going to be able to pop on whenever it detects a human. So it's really nice for nighttime to let people know they're being recorded. And it can also be nice just to have a little night light outside. So that's pretty much all the features for the doorbell, and I'm pretty much ready to get you guys going for the installation portion of this video. So if you're ready for that, let's get into it. Okay, before we can think about getting it mounted to the wall, we actually need to power up the doorbell and get it connected to the Montavue Go application. So the first two things we need are a smartphone and the doorbell. Our first objective here is to get power to the doorbell. So for this, I'm going to plug in a mini USB to this port here. Alternatively, you guys can also plug this into the transformer of your guys' doorbell. For those of you without a mini USB cable, we can still use your transformer power to activate this doorbell. It's just a little bit trickier. To do this, we need to go outside your house and we need to remove your existing doorbell to expose the wires underneath. There should be two of them. These wires run to a 16 volt or higher transformer, or at least they should be, and then that transformer is connected to some sort of power source. So the first thing we need to do is remove power to that transformer. That way we don't give ourselves a little shock when we're messing with these wires. The second thing is the doorbell should have come with provided wires. These have little loops on either end of them, which we're going to use to connect to the doorbell. We need to attach these wires to the existing transformer wires. To do this, we will use what's called a wire nut. That's this little gray thing here. You're going to expose the metal on each end of the wire, twist them together, and then shove them into the wire nut. Another scenario is that you guys have a mechanical or an electronical chime built into your house. In this case, one of these wires running from the transformer will then connect to that chime and then run back all the way to your doorbell. Either way, we should still have two wires available right here. Once you have those connected, then we're gonna run the loops to these little sections on the doorbell here. It doesn't really matter left or right side, it's totally up to you. To do this, you're gonna use these 2 screws and the provided Phillips screwdriver. Put the loop over this hole, then you're gonna drive the screw through the loop and into the hole, and then tighten it the best you can. Once you've got both ends tightened, you guys are ready to plug the transformer back into its power source, and then we should see the doorbell come on through the little light on front. Once the doorbell has power, we should see this light start to blink, and once it starts doing a consistent blinking like so, we are ready to jump on the smartphone and begin activation. Okay, going to the smartphone, if you guys don't have Montavue Go 2.0 downloaded already, I need you to go to your app store, type in Montavue Go, and then download the app. It's free and it's a pretty quick download. So once that's done, we're gonna open up to the home screen just like so. And our first step here is we're gonna click on Me. It's in the bottom right corner. For the doorbell to work, this is the only camera we need to do this for. We actually need to sign in to the app. So up here, we either need to sign in or sign up. We're simply just using an email and a simple password. Okay, once we are signed in, we're gonna go to the home screen. And our first thing is we're gonna click on the plus button in the upper right corner. Then we're gonna choose SN Scan from these choices. And then next we're gonna scan the QR code that is on the side of your doorbell. So it should use the front facing camera of your smartphone, and you sort of just have to line it up and make sure it's not blurry. Once it scans, it should show you the serial number written here, and just ignore the security code section. We're actually not gonna use that. You can go ahead and hit next. Now here again, we wanna make sure that doorbell is that consistent blinking. And so if that's the case here, we can hit next. So here it's asking us to connect to the hotspot. So right now the doorbell should be active, and we're gonna click on Connect to Hotspot. It's going to take us to your wireless settings, and it's gonna give you a choice of wireless connections. So any of your local networks or Wi-Fi's that you're nearby will show up here, along with the doorbell that's also giving off a Wi-Fi signal. Even though it says no internet connected, we still wanna choose the doorbell from this list of selections because we are connecting our cell phone to our doorbell's wireless signal. Okay, once you're connected to the phone, it'll ask you to give a username and password. Typically, you'd want to use admin as a username, all in lowercase, and then you guys can create a password. If you guys are using a Montavue NVR and you guys plan on adding this doorbell as an official channel, it's best to probably use the same password as you're using for the NVR. That way it's able to sync without any additional tinkering, and it's just going to be a lot easier to conform to the NVR. So this next part is the email. It's totally optional. This is just used to recover the password in case you guys forget it. This next screen is going to ask you to choose your network or your router. So we're going to click on that, and then as soon as it comes up, we want to enter the password for your guys' network. If you don't have a password for your network and it's Wi-Fi, I probably recommend getting one. Okay, once you guys enter the password, we're going to hit next, and then there's going to be a 60-second countdown while it connects the doorbell's Wi-Fi signal to your router's Wi-Fi signal. If the 60-second countdown expires without a connection, then go ahead and try it again. It's possible you might just not have the correct network password. However, when it's successful, the doorbell should say successfully connected to network, and on screen should also say successfully connected. So once that happens, it's going to ask you for a device name. You guys can name this really whatever you want. It's just going to be how it shows up on your home screen for your app. Hit save at the top right corner. Next, it's going to ask you a time zone. You guys can go ahead and choose your local time zone, and then DST stands for Daylight Savings Time. So if you live in an area that still adheres to Daylight Savings Time, you can go ahead and set this. The next screen is the chime link. If you guys have this connected to a already existing doorbell system, then it's likely either using a mechanical or an electrical chime. You simply just have to choose which one it's doing, and it should conform to whatever that particular chime is. Okay, once you guys are connected, it should bring you to a live view of that doorbell. And then as you can see, we're good to go. So a quick breakdown of the buttons that you see just to control your guys' doorbell. So this button here is your pause and play button. So if you want to pause the live feed, you can go ahead and press that. To resume it, go ahead and press it again once it turns into the play button. This button is for standard definition. You can click on this to increase it to HD, the high definition. Keep in mind, by default though, it will be an SD, and that's simply so it can deliver the video faster to your mobile phone while you're out and about. This next button activates the speaker, so if you guys want to listen to what's going on around the doorbell, go ahead and click that. This little star makes your doorbell a favorite. This is more for if you have an NVR with multiple channels and you want to make this a favorite. And this last button on the right, that changes the orientation. So if you want a widescreen, larger view, you can go ahead and click that, and you can turn your camera, rotate it to have that widescreen view. This film reel icon will take you to the previous recorded footage for the doorbell. If you guys have an SD card loaded in, or if you're connected to an NVR, it'll allow you to view your previously recorded footage. It'll take you to a calendar selection and all that good stuff. This little camera icon, this will take a screenshot of whatever your doorbell is seeing at that moment. So if you got something going on and you want to record it, just go ahead and click that button and it'll take a snapshot and save it to your phone directly. This camera icon is the live record button. So if you guys want to film what's going on and you want a video of it, go ahead and click that. Click it again to stop the video. Again, that file will be saved to your phone within the Montavue Go app. And finally, this little phone button, if you press that, you'll actually call and then you'll establish a two-way audio connection with the doorbell and your phone. And this bottom portion here shows any notifications that have come from your phone. So if it's picking up any humans, if it gets rung, whatever, it's going to put this information down here and it's going to give you a time at which it happens. So it's really useful to be able to go back and select certain events that you might have throughout the day. Finally, if someone calls you guys, whether the app is open, closed, your phone can be locked, it will actually start to ring and provide you with this screen. All you have to do is press the green button to answer that and it'll establish a two-way connection between you and the doorbell. Or you guys can cancel it and go to quick responses and it will actually emit whatever message you guys want out of that doorbell if you're just unavailable, if you're at work and you can't get to the phone. That wraps it up for the software side of things, so you guys can close down the app and you're good to go. All right, that should be doing it for the doorbell. Hopefully you guys are now looking at a fully operational system and you guys are able to communicate with it on your phones. If you guys had any problems with this, ran into any obstacles during the installation, don't hesitate to call the tech support line. We are here Monday through Friday to help you with anything you guys need. You can also email us if it's the weekend and you guys just can't get to us during normal business hours. Send us an email, support@montavue.com, and we can definitely help you guys out anyway. So thank you for joining us here at Montavue. I always appreciate you guys. If you subscribe down below, don't forget that. Leave this video a like as well. I always appreciate that too. Thanks guys and have a great day.